A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events early Wednesday, South Korean President Yoon Yeol lifted the martial law he had imposed just hours earlier, following a tense night of political upheaval. The martial law declaration, which had troops surrounding the National Assembly, was met with swift opposition from lawmakers who voted to reject military rule. The decision to lift the martial law was made around 4:30 a.m. during a cabinet meeting, with police and military personnel seen vacating the parliament grounds shortly after the bipartisan vote. President Yoon had imposed martial law late Tuesday, declaring a need to eliminate anti-state forces as he faced a parliament controlled by opposition parties that he accused of being sympathetic to North Korea. However, within 3 hours, the National Assembly acted decisively, with Speaker Woo Won-shik announcing the martial law as invalid and affirming that lawmakers would protect democracy alongside the people. This unexpected move by Yoon echoed a dark chapter in South Korea's history, reminiscent of the authoritarian rule that the nation has worked hard to overcome since the 1980s. It drew immediate condemnation from both the opposition and members of Yoon's own party. Lee Jae-myung, leader of the Democratic Party, which holds the majority in the 300-seat assembly, vowed that his lawmakers would remain in the assembly until Yoon formally rescinded his order. The atmosphere outside the National Assembly was charged, with protesters demanding Yoon's impeachment and scuffles breaking out between demonstrators and troops. Fortunately, there were no immediate reports of injuries or significant property damage, although tensions were palpable as some protesters attempted to confront soldiers. Under South Korea's constitution, the president can declare martial law during wartime or other national emergencies, but many questioned whether the current situation warranted such drastic measures. The Constitution also mandates that the president must comply with the National Assembly's request to lift martial law if a majority vote is achieved. Following Yoon's announcement, the military declared that political gatherings that could lead to social confusion would be suspended, and warned that violators could face arrest without a warrant. The situation drew international attention, with the White House expressing serious concern over the developments in Seoul. A spokesperson for the National Security Council stated that the Biden administration had not been informed prior to the martial law declaration and emphasized the strength of the U.S.-South Korea alliance. Meanwhile, Pentagon officials confirmed that U.S. service members stationed in South Korea were not under any restrictions. As the political crisis unfolded, thousands of doctors in South Korea, who have been on strike for months over government plans to increase medical school enrollments, were urged to return to work within 48 hours. In a show of solidarity, the National Assembly Speaker called for all lawmakers to gather at the Assembly, urging military and law enforcement to remain calm. The vote to lift martial law saw unanimous support from the 190 lawmakers present, and footage captured soldiers departing the Assembly grounds shortly after the vote concluded. Just hours before the vote, the scene at the Assembly was tense, with police blocking entrances and soldiers stationed outside. Eyewitness accounts described helicopters landing within the Assembly grounds, further heightening the sense of urgency and chaos. Yoon's decision to impose martial law was labeled wrong by the leader of his conservative People Power Party, who vowed to rectify the situation with the public support. The opposition has accused Yoon of overstepping his authority, with calls for impeachment growing louder. During his televised address, Yoon justified the martial law as a necessary measure to rebuild and protect the nation from perceived threats. He expressed a commitment to eradicating what he termed pro-North Korean forces and restoring constitutional order, appealing to the public for patience amid the turmoil. Yoon's approval ratings have been in decline, and his administration has faced significant challenges in navigating a parliament controlled by opposition parties since he took office in 2022. The opposition has attempted to pass motions to impeach key prosecutors, which Yoon's party claims is a vendetta against their investigations into Lee Jae-myung, who is seen as a leading candidate for the next presidential election in 2027. Yoon's hardline stance on North Korea marks a departure from the previous administration's approach, and he has faced criticism for dismissing calls for independent investigations into scandals involving his administration. The martial law declaration represents the first such move since South Korea's democratization in 1987, with the last martial law being declared in 1979, following the assassination of former dictator Park Chung-hee. Analysts suggest that Yoon's actions may reflect his frustration with the opposition-controlled parliament, likening the move to a desperate gamble. As the political landscape continues to shift, experts warn that Yoon's declaration could lead to further instability and potential impeachment proceedings, drawing parallels to past political crises in South Korea. The unfolding situation serves as a stark reminder of the nation's tumultuous political history and the ongoing struggle for democratic governance. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.